Hi, Enan. Me again. I'm just going to show you what we worked on today in class. Mrs. Salome, as you remember, hopefully from last week, she said she was going to bring in this machine that her husband uses. He's a drag racer, to test his reaction time at the start of a race. And it was really cool, and you'll get a chance to do it next week as well because she's going to bring the machine back in. So everybody tested to see how quick they could push the start button on this machine. So these are the results. So we had Charlie had 0.01 or 1/100th, Meredith had 15/100ths of a second, Jillian 22/100ths of a second, Grace 16/100ths of a second, Isha 43/100ths of a second, and so on. These are not in the order from the fastest to the slowest, although Charlie had the fastest, which was amazing, at 1/100th of a second. So what we did is typically what we've been working on is taking a fraction and turning it into a decimal. But in this case, we are taking the decimal and we're going to reverse the process and turn it into a fraction. So this is how we did it. So we went over just the first three together in class, and then the rest they had for homework. And we were practicing with more than just three. But anyway, so the first one, if you have 1/100th, okay, so 0.01, 1/100th, imagine that brownie and having one piece out of the 100. That's what this represents. You would write that as 1/100th. And that's as simple as it can go. So the answer to our first one, which was Charlie's, a 1/100th is the same thing as 1/100th. Number two, the second one, which happened to be Meredith's time, she had 0.15 or 15/100ths. You write that as a fraction as 15/100ths, but you can simplify this. And you use your divisibility rules. And we discovered that, okay, so 5 can be divided into 15 and 100. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. And 100 divided by 5 is 20. So your answer is 3/20. So you're taking it and going from the decimal, and you're reversing it and showing what the original fraction would have been. So if Meredith said it in 15/100ths of a second, it's the same thing as saying she did it in 3/20ths of a second. The same exact measurement of time. So the third one, which was done by Jillian, she did her reaction time was 22/100ths of a second, or 0.22. And so how do you turn that into a fraction? The first thing you're going to do, 22/100ths, is the same thing as saying 22 out of 100. And picture the brownie or the little 100 squares that we've been using, and that's like having 22 of the little pieces out of 100 colored in, 22/100ths. So let's simplify that as well. What number, using divisibility rules, can go into 22 and to 100? Well, they're both even numbers, so I automatically know that 2 is going to work. So 2 divided by 2, and then 100 divided by 2. 22 divided by 2 is 11, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. So 11/50ths. So 22/100ths, the decimal, is the same thing as the fraction 11/50ths. So the fourth one, that happened to be Grace, and her reaction time was 16/100ths of a second, or 0.16. So to turn that decimal into a fraction, you're going to say, okay, we're going to write 16/100ths, which is the same thing as 0.16. And then with that, we can simplify this. So I need to think of my divisibility rules and what number can be divided into 16 and what number can be divided into 100. And then the number 4 is the answer. So 16 divided by 4 is 4, and 100 divided by 4 is 25. So taking the decimal of 16/100ths, we can then turn it into a fraction, which is the same as 4/25ths. So the rest of the homework that the kids had to do tonight is they're going ahead and with Isha's 0.43 or 43/100ths, so you want to turn 43/100ths into a fraction, the same thing with 17/100ths, 30/100ths, 29/100ths, 52/100ths, and 46/100ths. So hopefully this will help you. If you have any problems, have your mom email me, and I will email you back or make another video. I hope you feel better. We missed you today.